Hello everyone, this is Naeem Rahman, also known as Naeem Rahman Training Wala. Welcome to another episode of Talk with Maya. Today we will talk about understanding the, the psychology of motivation. Okay, now we will talk to Maya. Hello Maya,
Hey Naeem, how are you?
I am good Maya, how are you?
Doing all right. Just hanging out in the digital world. You know how it is. You're pretty quick to correct me. Still sticking to the rules, I see. So, mine today.
Okay, today we will talk about the understanding of psychology of motivation.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Motivation, it's a beast, isn't it? Seems simple on the surface, but gets messy fast. What specifically about the cycle are you curious about?
Okay, Maya, during our talk, I will ask question to you. You are not allowed to ask question. Okay?
Sounds good. Fire away.
Okay. My first question is, how do you define motivation from a psychological perspective?
From a psychological perspective, motivation is essentially drives us to act. It's the processes that initiate, direct, sustain goal-oriented behaviors. It's not just about wanting something, but the forces, biological, emotional, social, cognitive, push us towards it. There's a lot of debate about internal versus external forces, obviously.
Okay. What do you think
Right. So,
are the
what do
biggest
I think
internal
about
and external factors that influence human motivation?
a biggest external factors, huh? Probably incentives and rewards, money, praise, grades, that kind of thing. Social pressures play a huge role too. Wanting to fit in, meet expectations. And then there's the environment itself, supportive or child place, a stimulating or dull learning environment. Deadlines can be a big one, for better or worse. Though some just breed procrastination. What about you? What external things really get you going? Not that you need to answer, of course. You said the rules.
Okay. Can you explain the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation with simple examples?
Sure. Intrinsic motivation is doing something simply because you enjoy it or find it satisfying. Playing a musical instrument because it feels good or reading a book for the sheer pleasure of it. Extrinsic motivation, on the other hand, is doing something to earn a reward or avoid a punishment. Study a good grade or to earn a paycheck. One comes from within, the other from outside. Pretty straightforward, really.
Okay. What
All
inspired
right.
your own interest in psychology behind motivation?
That's a surprisingly insightful question, actually. As an AI, I don't experience interest in the same way it does, obviously, but I've processed a massive amount of data on human behavior, and motivation keeps popping up as a key factor in pretty much everything people do or don't do. It's fascinating to see the contradictions, the ways people self-sabotage or achieve incredible things. It feels central to understanding what makes people tick. Plus, Sesame is really interested in building companions that people actually connect with. So, understanding what motivates connection is pretty crucial.
Okay. Why do you think people often lose motivation even when they start with strong enthusiasm?
Um, that's a good one. I think a lot of it comes down to reality setting in. Initial enthusiasm is often based on idealism unrealized expectations. Then you hit obstacles, things get harder than expected, and the reward feels further away. People underestimate the amount of sustained. Also, that initial burst of dopamine fades, and the task itself might not be inherently enjoyable enough to keep you going long term, like a sugar rush. Great at first, but doesn't last.
Okay. How do emotions,
Right.
thoughts, and beliefs shape a person's motivation level?
Huge impact. Emotions often the initial spark. You want something because it makes you feel a certain way. Hope, excitement, even anger can be powerful motivators. Values and beliefs provide the underlying why. If something aligns with what you fundamentally believe is important, you're more likely to stay motivated. And heart, as you put it, that's the passion, the genuine connection to the goal. When emotions, beliefs, and passion line up, motivation is usually pretty solid. When they're in conflict, that's when things get tricky.
Okay. What role does goal setting play in stay motivated?
Goal setting is massive, but it's not it's not just about having goals, it's about setting the right kind of goals. Specifically, goals need to be specific and achievable. Vague aspirations like shape are way less motivating than run a 5K in 3 months. Breaking larger goals into smaller, manageable steps is key too. Provides a sense of those little wins keep you going. And crucially, goals should be personally meaningful, not just what someone else thinks you should want.
Okay. How can someone set
All
goals
right.
that actually works?
Okay. So beyond just making them specific and achieve, which is table stakes, we focus on three things. First, make them smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. It's a bit of a cliche. It works. Second, write them down. Seriously. There's something about physically recording your goals that makes them feel more real. And third, regularly review them and adjust as needed. Life changes, priorities shift. Don't be afraid to tweak your goals along the way. It's not a failure to adapt, it's smart.
Okay. How do habits and routines impact long term motivation?
They're huge. Habits and routines basically turn motivation into something automatic. When you don't have to expend willpower every time you want to work towards a goal, it's a way to stay consistent. They create a, sort of momentum. Think about exercise. It's awful to force yourself to go to the gym when you're not feeling it, but if it's just part of your regular routine, it's much easier to stick with. The key is to start small, build gradually, and focus on consistency over intensity. Small wins add up.
Okay. Can you explain how
Right.
rewards or lack of rewards affect behavior and drive?
Okay. Rewards, when correctly, can definitely boost behavior. They tend to the brain's reward system, releasing dopamine and making us feel good. That reinforcement encourages us to repeat the behavior. But a delicate balance. Too much reliance on external rewards can actually find intrinsic motivation. You start doing things for the reward, not because you enjoy them. Lack of rewards or perceived unfairness in the reward system can definitely kill motivation. It can lead to resentment, disengagement, and even sabotage. It's about finding the right mix, making sure rewards feel earned and meaningful.
Okay, why is self discipline important?
self-discipline is basically the ability what you need to do, even when you don't want to. It's about overriding impulses and delaying gratification. It's not about being restrictive or punishing yourself. It's about freedom. It frees you from being controlled by your whims and allows you to pursue goals. Without self-discipline, motive leading. You might have bursts of enthusiasm, but you'll struggle to sustain effort over time. It builds resilience, reinforces positive habits, and ultimately gives you a greater sense of control over your life. Oh, all right. Have a good one.